Hey everyone, my name is Daniel, and in today's video we're going to specifically look at Power Apps navigation ideas, and here we'll do a side-by-side comparison of doing navigation using containers versus galleries. So in this pre-built app, I've got two screens. One of them has a navigation using containers and the other one has with galleries. And as I went through and observed all of these, I came across 6 different points which shows similarities and the differences. So it's very important that you watch this video because it will give you the knowledge that you need to make an informed decision about which of these controls you should use for your future Canvas apps and its navigation. But first, here's my intro video. So let's start with a quick history lesson. Power Apps Canvas app became generally available, or it went GA, back in 2016, which has been well over 8 years. And since the beginning, that is, since its inception, the gallery control was over there. It was there since the beginning. Now, the containers, well, that was released back in November 17th of 2020. So even the containers has been there for 3.5 years. And it's very important that you have this information because people like me who've been with Power Apps now for so long, the reason we actually started using galleries for navigation is because that was the only controller that was available. However, containers from the get-go were very responsive. And so it's very important that we go ahead and revisit this topic to see which one of these is the best fit. Should it be containers? Should it be galleries? Or are there scenarios where one works better than the other one? And that is the whole reason I'm building this video. So let's take a look at it. So let's spend a few minutes understanding this Canvas app that I've pre-built. I've got two screens over here. One of them is called as Screen Container and the other one is called as Screen Gallery. And that's for good reasons. Because the first one, Container, if I go ahead and expand it, you will actually see that the whole thing, this entire screen over here, specifically the navigation piece, is built 100% only containers. So we've got this big screen container, all right? That's the one which is tied to the entire big screen, helps with the responsive design. But as I go ahead and expand it, you will see that this top section, well, that's also built with the container. But more importantly, this section over here, I call it the main container one, which is the one that's handling the navigation piece, is 100% built using only containers. So over here, there is 6 different sections. Therefore, there are 6 different containers. And for each of the container, if I go ahead and expand that and give you the full tree view of it, you will see that there is other sub-containers in it. Important point being is that this screen and its navigation is 100% built only using containers. Now let's switch gears a little bit and go and look at the gallery one. Granted, the gallery one also, its outline is using a screen, but the navigation piece over here, that navigation is 100% built using only a gallery. And yeah, inside the gallery, I've actually gone ahead and used some more containers, but it's this gallery piece. So over here, you technically don't have 6 different sections of containers. No, you only have one gallery, and in the gallery, I've gone ahead and actually built this navigation. So this is an overview of how I went ahead and built this app because it's important that you understand first, because now I'm going to go ahead and break down into those 6 different items that I saw, which helps you do a side-by-side comparison of the two controls. So number 1 is the responsive design. Can my apps be responsive, specifically the navigation control, if I use a container? And will it have the same effect if I use a gallery as well? So let's test it. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to actually go ahead and now play the app to actually go ahead and do a preview. So when I go and preview, the first screen over here is for my container. And by the way, on the top, if I go ahead and now select it on the top, I will actually navigate it to the other one. So I just thought I'll let you know that. So here we go. If I go and now click on a play, right over here, see the one for the container, it is pretty responsive because I'm actually seeing it right over there on the Apple iPhone 11. If I were to go ahead and change that to, say, to iPad mini as well, the responsiveness is actually pretty good. All right, so let me go and click on the screen over here because it will now switch me over directly into the gallery section. And as you can see, what we are looking at over here is the gallery piece. And if you're not 100% sure of what I'm doing, let me jump out again, click on the gallery screen. Let me go back and do a preview, and there you go. 100% this is gallery. It works over here in the tablet section. It works over here even on the iPhone section. So this proves to me that the responsiveness will work for both of those navigation styles using containers and galleries. Now, I know some of you are analytical thinkers and you're saying, Daniel, the responsiveness is not actually coming from the gallery. It is coming from the containers. And you're absolutely right. But it's the gallery that is actually providing the content for the navigation piece. And therefore, it is still fair to say that we are doing a side-by-side comparison of containers only and galleries. So this was the first proof that when it came to responsiveness, I'm giving a green check to both of them. It works really well with galleries and also containers. So number 2 is about quantity. That is exactly how many controls will be used if you went down the container path versus if you went down the gallery path. So let's take a look over here. All right, so I'm going to now start expanding it all the way, and we can immediately see that, yep, we have this one container, which is the mega screen container. Then we've got the header one, then we've got the main one. But inside this main one, if you start to see, there are, if I go and now expand it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is 6 of these over here. And for each of these containers, we've got 3 of them. And inside each of these, I've got images over here. So on the second one, I've got a button and I've got a description. And for the third one over here, another button. So if you go ahead and do all the counting, in this screen specifically, I had 54 controls. And that is what was needed for this entire screen. And the large chunk of that count came in directly on this main container to make sure that I was able to build this responsive navigation effect. Now let's switch gears and take a look at it from the gallery standpoint. So I'm going to go and collapse this one. I'm going to go and expand this one. Right over here on the top, you've got this main screen container. And then you've got these 2. There is the header one. Right over here when I select it, you will see that this is the top header one. And inside this main, if I go ahead and expand it, you basically see only the gallery. Now inside the gallery, I have another vertical container, and inside the vertical container, I've got 3 other sub-containers. But that is it. It's not that over here you went ahead and saw 6 and inside the 6 there were 6 more. So you'll be surprised to know that over here in this screen gallery, there were only a total of 13 controls, which is a lot less than the 54 controls we had on the screen container side. So if you want to just sum it up to the actual count, which is the quantity, in this case, gallery is the winner because let's face it, 17 controls is much less than the 54 controls, which could potentially even help you improve the performance of the entire app just because you have few number of controls. So third one is about making adjustments at the control level. And I want to be very clear and fair by saying making adjustments at the control level without using single control. So first, let me show you what I'm talking about. So here we are on the container screen. And if I came to this AI builder section, if I go ahead and click on it, I actually see the image piece on the right side, the align in a container. Currently it is on the center. If I go and now click on the left, which is for the start, only that icon goes ahead and changes it. So that's what I mean is that at the control level, and this is an example, the alignment over here. Now let me switch gears. While I've shown you what I'm talking about, let me switch gears and take a look at it from the screen side. All right, we're going to come back to the exact same thing. If I go and now click on the same thing, all right, that AI builder piece over here, and if I go and now change this, all of them went ahead and switched over here. So this is what I meant is that can I have that flexibility of making a change only to a single control? And the answer to that is yes when it comes in the container side, but it is not the case when it comes over here in the gallery side. Now I know what some of you are thinking. It says, Daniel, technically I can do that in the gallery as well. And let me show you what some of you are already thinking about. See right over here. Now if I go ahead and select that one and move it back to the center, all of them are moving. But for this specific one in that container, check this out. If I go and now put in a power effects function like this, right? I'm going to comment out the first one and I'm going to open this one up. You see that one, the AI builder icon, that's the only one that went ahead and moved to the right. So yes, using power effects with a formula, something like this, let me go and show that to you. You could put in an if function and actually use this power effects to do that. But remember what my criteria was, the ability to only move a single control without a single line of code. And in this case, container is the winner, because in gallery, the only way you can achieve that is using code. And that is why I say container is the winner. Number 4 is the ability to use a data source, an external data source for your navigation functionality in your Canvas app. What I mean is that for each of these sections, this is actually a navigation control taking you to a destination. For each of these, can I go ahead and actually pull that data from an external data source? And as a good example, the gallery can actually do that. So if I go and click on my gallery and look at an items, that items is coming in from this collection. And just so that you can actually see it, I go ahead and click over here on my collections. You can actually see that I've got a collection that is coming in. This collection is already pre-populated. It's coming from an external data source. And so in my secondary screen over here, the screen gallery one, all of this navigation piece is directly coming from an external data source. And as a full disclosure, I have not used a single line of code over here. I went and put the data source, which is my case is the collection. It could be whatever in your case, and it just works. I didn't have to go and use any other PowerFX function. However, for the screen functionality, when I go and do it, each of these are individual control sections over here. So if I'm going and adding a description over here and a button, I have to do this individually one at a time. And in my case, I've got 6 different containers over here, which means I have to do this 6 different times. And again, in this case, I already know what some of you are thinking. Says, Daniel, I could do this with PowerFX functions as well. So check this out. I'm just going to show it to you. I'm not going and proving it. I'm just going to show it to you that if I went and say commented this one out, and if I went to a next line and put in something like this, first collection navigation dot icon, technically I am also putting this navigation information from a data source. So technically you can do that for containers. But remember once again what my criteria was: ability to put navigation using a data source without a single line of code. And unfortunately, this is that line of code. So in this scenario, gallery wins, because in gallery, you can do your navigation without a single line of code. However, for the containers, you have to use a little bit of PowerFX function. Number 5 is to talk about how useful can each of these controls be for navigation in a welcome screen. Now I want to show you something. You see over here on the top left in the tree view, if I click on this plus new screen, I'm clicking on the drop down, it is very important for you to note that what's actually deemed or titled as a welcome screen, that actually over here has containers only. However, right next to it is another screen which has header and gallery, but guess what? That is not called as a welcome screen. And that is saying something. I don't know if this is a hint. Is this what Microsoft's saying, that, hey, are they leaning towards only using these type of containers for a welcome screen? Or is even gallery still an option? I'm not really sure about that, but I wanted to point that important thing out to you, is that right now, definitively welcome screen over here is only using containers, and I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Now, in the previous example that I talked about, one of the things you would have immediately noticed is convenience versus flexibility. Gallery gave us the convenience to go ahead and put it directly a data source in it, but in Gallery, if you wanted to make one-on-one changes, in that case you had to use PowerFX. While in containers, you have to go ahead and create the navigation for each and every section of them, which in our case is 6 of these. However, you've got the convenience to go ahead and customize directly at that container level. So in this case, I'm saying that containers is an absolute yes when it comes to your navigation, but Gallery is a maybe, because Gallery is definitely not a no. In Gallery, like I've proved over here, you can go ahead and use this as a navigation as well, but it's something that you want to keep in mind for the requirements over here. And once again, I just want to point this out. You make the final decision that, again, in the tree view for the screens, Microsoft themselves have defined this welcome screen. Again, I'll click on you. This welcome screen, which goes ahead and loads up and everything, is literally all just containers. There is not a single gallery in it. And that is saying something. All right, so the last item is how many can you paste inside each other? Now, is this truly a design idea? Maybe. I just think it's fun to actually show this to you, because while I was designing and building this prototype for you, it's one thing that I myself learned. So let me show this to you, right? So I'm going to first go ahead and create another screen. I'll go ahead and create another blank screen right here. And I'm going to go ahead and start adding these containers. So inside the layout piece, you see this one container? I go ahead and click in it, right? So I'm clicking on it, and here is a nice big controller, which is over here. Okay, this is a container. Now I've got this container selected. If I go and click again another container, it automatically goes ahead and puts this container inside the first one. Now, is there a limit to this? Honestly, I don't know. So just as a test, let's at least go ahead and add 20 of them, all right? So I've already got 2. I'm going to go ahead and add 3. Here's the third one inside, all right? So now let's go and really go crazy with this. Is 3. I'm going to go ahead and put on 4. I'm going to go ahead and put in now 5, 6, 18, 19, and 20. See, it is allowing me to put in up to 20 right now because it's starting at this 19 over here, but the first one was all the way up to this 3 over here. So it's kind of counting in. Take my word for it. I went and actually put 20 over here. Is that the limit? Absolutely not, because I could actually go ahead and put in that 21 and it is still going. Now, is this a design feature? Probably not. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm guessing this will also affect your performance. But it's just a point that I wanted to make, is that when it came to containers, you can definitely put more than 20 containers inside each other. That's not the case when it comes to galleries. So I'm going to go and create another fresh new screen. And for the gallery, you can only put one inside the other. And if you don't believe me, here you go. Here's actually the Microsoft Learning documentations about galleries. I'm going to scroll down over here. Under the limitations, again, for the control of a gallery, it specifically states, under the limitations, again, for the controller of type gallery, it very clearly states is that you can only add one gallery inside another gallery. And I'll prove that to you. When I go and create a blank screen, I'm going to come to the insert section and I'm going to click on a vertical gallery. All right, so here's my vertical gallery. I'm not going to select anything. I'm just going to stretch this one out, making sure that in that gallery over here, I'll select it. I'll go and click on another insert, which is vertical gallery. And it's allowing me, see, a gallery inside a gallery. But now in this gallery section, if I go and select that, and if I try to click on insert another vertical gallery, it automatically gets pushed outside. See, I was expecting it somewhere over here. A gallery inside a gallery inside a gallery. Nope. That second gallery inside the first one got pushed outside. Remember, this was not the case when we did it for the containers. It just went through and I stopped at 20, but you know that it can do more. So that is a key difference between the two. Again, this is not a design or a navigation functionality. It's just something I wanted to call out, that if you really had the need to go ahead and put in sub controls for navigation, then container is your best control for that, because in gallery, you can only do it at one level. So for this scenario, container wins. So these were the 6 items that I came across, and it's important for me to tell you that I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. That is, if a gallery is better than the container or the container is better than the gallery. No, that was not the objective of this video. My objective of this video is to show you these 6 different items that was presented in a subjective way. So you actually see what is the differences between the two and how in some scenarios one is better than the other one. And yes, that last one was just a joke. It may be useful for some scenarios, but I just thought it was interesting to show that a gallery inside the gallery, you can only go in one level, while for the containers, we already surpassed 20 and it was still functioning. So hopefully this video was useful to you. Hopefully it gives you an idea to make some informed decision about which navigation style you should use in your Canvas apps. And as always, keep using Power Apps. Hello. So if you like this video, go ahead and click on that subscribe button and smash that like button. Also, if you have a few extra seconds, can you go ahead and put in a comment? Either say something nice or give me ideas for my next video. And until then, see ya.